All right, welcome everybody. I see people jumping on here. It's almost 6 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, so we're getting started here. We're going to give it about 30 seconds to a minute to get started here. So I see that our special guests are on, which is great. As you get on the call, go ahead and let us know where you're calling in from. I see that Marifel is jumping in right off the bat, coming in from Canada. Great to see you on here, Marifel. Who else do we have here? Lewistown, Oklahoma City, Syracuse. I'm guessing that's Syracuse, Utah, maybe. Calgary, Tooele, Hawaii. I don't know what CHIU is. I think it's supposed to be Chicago because that's from Christine. So, all right. Calgary, Phoenix, Layton, Cincinnati, all over the country. Great. So glad to have you guys on. We're going to get started here in just one more moment. And we'll get this Wednesday webinar kicked off. Let's see, Winnipeg, Phoenix. All right, coming in from all over. I love it. Okay, looks like we have everything set up here. So let's make sure I have the where set up. Looks like we do. Okay, let's get this started. Welcome to the Wednesday webinar, everyone. My name is Skyleur Steffensen. I'm the Vice President of Sales for North America. And I'm excited to be here tonight. We have a fantastic call. We have some great guests, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about them in just one moment. But before I do, a couple of announcements that we have. First of all, those of you who are Pearl and above have had the opportunity to listen to our Growth Mindset series, which is led by Kyani, of course, and then we're joined by Phil Jones. And Phil Jones has been phenomenal. He's brought in some of the top experts in finance, in business. It's just been an incredible, incredible series that we've been able to listen to. And the last call, we've had three, and this will be the fourth. The fourth call is on January 28th. So mark your calendars right now, January 28th at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Remember, that's for Pearls and above who are at paid as rank of Pearl. So you'll get an email beforehand, and you'll have access to that call. If you're not yet a Pearl, and you're hearing my voice right now, you still have time. You can end up as a paid as rank Pearl on the 27th, and we will still get you access to that call if you reach the rank of Pearl, or if you get back up to Pearl if for some reason you're not currently at that rank. So go for it. Get there by the 28th. It's an amazing call. You'll learn a lot. I promise you that. And we'll see you on that call. The other thing is the Pump Up the Volume promotion. It's going right now. We also have the Platinum Trip, which is exciting. But right now, we only have, let's say the 22nd, I think we only have 9 days left for the Pump Up the Volume promotion, which is actually quite a bit of time. So you have a lot of time to get it done. I can tell you right now, we have 18 people who have already qualified for the AirPod Pros, and 2 of them are on this call. So we're going to talk to them in just a minute. But those of you who have not qualified yet, we have over 150 people who have over 1,000 QV and not quite 2,500 yet. So a lot of people who really have an opportunity to walk away with some brand new AirPods Pro. So with that, I want to get right into our topic here. I brought on some of our newest diamonds. This couple, we were just together actually in Idaho Falls last week. We have what we call the Diamond Summit, which is where we strategize with all of our diamonds and above for the upcoming year. And I can tell you they're sworn to secrecy, but they know some things that you don't. And they're exciting things. So they had the opportunity to join us. They reached diamond back in November of 2019. And I'm not going to tell you anything else about them because I'm going to let them tell us about themselves. But I do want to welcome to the call Curtis and Melissa Ware. Curtis and Melissa, how are you? Oh, I think you're on mute. Let me see here. I think you're on mute, or I have you on mute. So let me see if I can find you here.
Can you hear me now?
Let's do this. Let's make you the co-host. See if that'll work better. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us now?
There we go. Sorry. Had a quick issue here. I hear you now. All right. So first of all, it is great to see you too. I know it's only been a week, but it's great to see your face again.
It's always good to see you, Skyleur.
Well, I appreciate that. Well, I'm excited to talk to you tonight. I know that we have two things we want to accomplish. First of all, we want to talk about your story, and I want you guys to share a little bit with our group here on how you went about earning your AirPods Pro with 10 days left in the month, because I think you earned them yesterday, maybe even the day before. So we're going to talk about that. But before we talk about that, let's get to know you a little bit. Tell us a little bit about yourselves, your background, what you were doing before Kyani.
Okay, so I am a dental hygienist. I'm going to take this up here. And I have been in healthcare now for 27 years. I own an airbrush tanning company. I do that also. And then I do Kyani. So believe it or not, so before Kyani, I worked 3 days, owned my airbrush tanning business. And with Kyani, I still work 3 days, own my airbrush tanning business, and do Kyani. So I love people, and I just work it into the cracks of my schedule. I'm a mom. We have 5 kids, and we are super busy, but we just are passionate, and we just love it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Before Kyani, I've been in the hazardous waste business for 20 years, cleaning up. Well, for the last 14, it was out cleaning up chemical munitions. But that's what I did. But I also coached football for 15 years. I've been all over, down in Provo for 5 years, Stansbury Park for 5 years, Grantsville for 5 years. So I'm a football coach, former football player, and now I'm full-time Kyani.
Awesome. I love to hear that. A little bit of different backgrounds, though. One is in airbrush tanning and one's in hazardous waste. So kind of opposite ends of the spectrum there. But so tell us, how long have you guys been together?
We've been together for 14 years.
Okay. Honestly, I was just seeing if Curtis knew. Because I knew Melissa did. I just figured I'd test Curtis. All right. Okay, well, so that's what you were doing beforehand. And Melissa, you got into a little bit of, you filling in the cracks with Kyani, but I'd love to hear how you were introduced to Kyani. And then, what was that process? What did it look like? And why did you decide to join?
Did he ask me? I can't hear.
How did you get
So
into
this is crazy, but just so everybody does know, one thing people don't know about me is I am actually almost all the way deaf. So it's really low, so I can't hear the questions very well. So if he has to translate, but I read lips, believe it or not. And so I'm just going to ask him what the question.
It was your passion, who introduced us, and your passion, and how you got going.
Okay, so how we got started was my sister-in-law who lived in St. George. She's very, very natural and loves herbs and everything natural. She homeschools. She just really is into family and alternative things. And we were visiting, and all of her kids were taking like these vitamins. They lined up and were taking these little shots of stuff. And so I said to her, I said, what is that? And she said, oh, it's our vitamins. This is how my cholesterol went from this to this. And we absolutely love it. The kids love it. It's all natural. So that's actually was our exposure. That's it. And then we came home, and a week or so later we were talking, and she said, you guys really need to look into this because it's all natural. You guys would be so good at it. So she just talked to us about the business. So honestly, we hadn't seen a video. We haven't tried the product. And so I'm like, okay, what do we need to do? And so we actually both bought a spot, just from her recommendation, because we really trust her and love her. And so we just bought a spot. We went on vacation, we came home, and we got our products. This is the crazy part. We were invited to the first regional, and we, since we didn't know Kyani culture or anything, we showed up to our first regional. I had a hat on, my workout clothes. He was kind of the same way. We got out of the car. We saw my 2 sister-in-laws walking. They were dressed up, and he was joking. He's like, are you guys presenting? And they're like, didn't you get the memo? So we walked in and were quickly introduced to, this was amazing and very professional. And so that really did pique our interest, actually, that first exposure. And Kim Watts was the first speaker that I ever heard. And I absolutely fell in love with her. And she talked about customers. And I said to my husband, I said, that's what I want to do. I want to just talk to people, and I just want to go after customers. I don't want to do the business. I'm really, really busy, but I just want to share. So that's how we got introduced to it.
Okay, I like it. Now, you said that you started because you wanted to just talk to customers, and I'm sure you have a lot of customers, but I'm sure you also did not reach Diamond only by customers. What changed in your mindset as you were starting to build your business and starting to refer others? What changed that you decided we're going to go at this full time?
What changed our mindset, it was about 6 months. And we were getting so many customers. And it was actually, my husband worked with Mr. Woolley, Chisholm Woolley, and he was taking Kyani during work, and he asked him what it was. And he said, I'm going to invite him over. And so he invited him over, and we brought them on. And then we said, I really think we can do this as a business. And so our mindset, we sat down and we said, let's do this as a business. I'm going to still focus on customers, but I believe he always wanted to come home because he missed so much as a football coach, and he missed a lot of family time, and he's always wanted to be home. So that was his goal. So we sat down and made a plan of what we need to do to get him home to spend more time with our family. And we set goals, did a vision board with our girls, and we focused on our goals, got the car, and moved straight forward.
Awesome. So Curtis, I'll ask both of you, but I'll ask Curtis to answer first. Tell me the difference between your life prior to Kyani and what it looks like today.
Well, like Melissa said, prior to Kyani, I wasn't home. I was gone nonstop. One of our friends gave us a little plaque that said, "We interrupt this marriage to bring you football season." And so I was like, I was never home, and I quickly started realizing that a lot of the things that I was missing, you don't get that back. If you miss, our daughter's a cheerleader, and another one loves to dance, and dance recitals, cheerleading, stuff like that I would miss. You don't get those back. And so compared that to today, I think they probably wish I was gone a little bit more now, because now I don't miss anything, and I'm in their back pocket all the time, always following them around. What are you doing? I keep teasing them that I'm going to wear a shirt that says, "Hey, I'm Bergen's dad," and "Hey, I'm Kinsey's dad." So people know. But it's been a lot of fun to be at home and not miss out on those things that I knew I was missing them, and I knew it was things I wanted to be, but you don't realize what it is until you actually start attending them and see what you were missing out on. And that's been my number one goal all along. Wasn't the money when they asked us for our why and what it was. My why that I wrote down from day one was time freedom. I wanted to spend time with my family. That's what I wanted.
Thank you. That's powerful. Melissa, how about you? How has your life changed since joining Kyani?
Since we joined Kyani.
So my life has changed. I'm definitely busier, and I was busy before, but I would say it's gone tenfold as far as my gratitude and appreciation for people, for just the love of people and what people go through, getting to know so many people and their health struggles, and it's real what people are going through, and you don't know. And so to get to know people again on another level and actually be part of changing their life financially or physically is something that to me it's undescribable. Like I said, I've said this a million times, if I never make another penny in Kyani, it is so worth watching people change. And, like our business partners and their lives changing. And it's just something that you can't put a price tag on it. And that's why I do this every day, is I absolutely love the texts that I get from customers or people, or just if you can make a difference in someone's life, that to me is everything. I love it.
Well, I am sure that your team loves you and everything that you're doing for them. You've impacted a lot of lives already, and I know that you'll impact a lot more. I want to talk, before we talk about this month, I want to talk a little bit about the month that you hit Diamond. It was November, and from what I remember, You guys had a bit of a ways to get there in November. What did you do as you were trying to reach that goal? What were the daily activities like? What was that like for you reaching Diamond?
So yes, we had about a week left. But yeah, we did have a ways to go for sure. But our goal was December. We are going to hit it. We got our letters in the mail, even that said that we were going to hit. And when we got that in the mail, and I said, we have to hit this. We really, I mean, obviously it's a team effort, 100%. We work really closely with our team. We stay in contact with our team. We really try to be there. What do they need? That is, I think, the biggest key is being in touch with your upline, number one, if you need help, and taking guidance from them, asking them, we would say, what do we need to do? What can we do? What else are we doing? So definitely take advice and take criticism, but it's in a good way, be coachable. And then for our team, we set goals. We had a whole bunch of them over, and we gave them vision boards, and we all wrote down our goals. And all of us stayed really in close contact. The day we hit Diamond, we had a lot of them over here, and everyone was trying to hit ranks. And it wasn't even so much about the ranks. It was more pulling together as a team, is what can we do as a team for everyone to move forward? Because like I said, we wouldn't be here without a team and without our leaders. So it's not about us hitting a rank. It's about everyone doing this together.
Yeah, I love that. I love that you pulled your team together. You had them do the vision boards. You worked together as a team to get there, and then taking the advice from your support team, from your upline, as to how you could get better. I think that's fantastic advice. Now let's talk about this month. You have already earned AirPods Pro, so they're already yours. But what was the game plan from January 1st, when you heard about it, to get those AirPods? What plan did you put into place?
Well, there's actually two plans. We've got to give a little bit of a shout out to Mr. Brandon Thornhill and Jeff Acra, because when we were up at the Diamond Summit, we had a Team Elite meeting, and at the end of the meeting, they wanted to make a little competition of who would sign up the most people and stuff. They said like a 20, 30 or something they're on. And they were like, come on, who will take the challenge? Who will take the challenge? And Melissa didn't want to take their money. She just leaned over to me and said, we'll just beat them. And so, as you guys know, right now we're beating them. So that number one, she's so competitive and I'm so competitive that we got to thank them for kind of the challenge they put down. But also, I was able to talk with Mr. Mark Davenport, and I really picked his brain about how to be successful and stuff. And he asked if we had an accountability board for our team. And we didn't at the time. And so we came home and implemented an accountability board. And it was voluntary, whoever wants to be on it can be on it. But one of the things that we put on the accountability board was to hit the AirPod Pros for the month. For everybody who's on, being accountable, is one of the things is to hit that for the month. And as a football coach, I would never, ever ask my team to do anything that I wasn't willing to do also. So some of that the kids really love, because I hate running sprints, so we didn't run sprints because I hate them, so I didn't make them run. But anyway, so we wanted to lead by example in that. And if it's going to be on the accountability board, we'll hold ourselves accountable, and hit that goal that we put out there. I have to give a little bit of shout out to one of our team members, Susan Orfisi, hit it before us. She's already got hers also, and she hit it I think last week, and so she's also on that board. But that's we just kind of made goals that we want to hit. I like when we were up at the Diamond Summit, I think it was our president Travis said, take things in little chunks, and then as you knock off these little chunks, the big things are going to come. And that's our goal for our whole team is to get to New Zealand. But, to get to New Zealand, I think if we hit these promotions every month, really good shot at getting to New Zealand. So that's kind of the mindset we had and got with our team and talked about. What else?
When Mr. Taylor said, and he kind of acted like he was putting AirPods in, that is actually what sparked me. And he's like, I'm going to get some AirPods. And I'm like, okay, if he's going to get some AirPods, I'm getting AirPods. So we are super competitive. I mean, I will say, so when we heard it was 2,500, I was like, oh my gosh, how am I going to get 2,500 new customers? Because it's not residual customers. But the thing about ours is we got 5 new business partners, and 4 of the 5 were actually people that we have piqued when we started and have told us no, over and over and over, have been the product no, the business no. And when we were up at Diamond University or Diamond Summit, I went home that night and got 2 of them in that night and called them and said, look, this is where we're at. This is what we're doing. Do the 90-day challenge with us. And that's what started it. And so then I was like, hey, we're going to do this.
Wow. So you got 2 people the moment that we announced it, essentially. That's incredible. Well, let me take a step back for just a moment and talk about the accountability board. Tell me what that looks like for your team. In order to be on the accountability board, what do they have to do?
Well, it's basically they have to follow the system. For weekly stuff, it's getting people on the grammar code, getting people to PBRs, doing 3-way calls. For monthly, it's going to the regional events or whatever events up, do the monthly promotion. And then daily, it's affirmations day and night, and getting on the building champions calls, following up, peaking. I think it's 5 people. We peak a day. Report your numbers. Get on your if you ranked high enough that you have a rank call that you need to get on. Make sure you're on those calls and stuff. Basically, it's following the system because the system works. And so we've kind of laid it out that being held accountable to follow the system, and what we've done is it's a 3-strike a week rule. If you get 3 strikes that week and you want to continue to be part of the accountability team, you have to buy a $25 potato pack and place it under the last person on the accountability board. And so the volume flows up through the people on the accountability board.
So your punishment is that you get to feed hungry children.
That's right.
Okay. I like it. I like it a lot. I love that you're holding their feet to the fire, and that they get to feed hungry children if they don't succeed. So I love the accountability board. I love what you're doing with your team. I want to ask you, how many team members do you expect to earn the AirPods Pro?
Well, I expect all of them to win the AirPod Pros. I would love it if all of them did. I would say I'm super hopeful that we have at least 5.
I think we got it. I think it's very possible for 5 of our team to hit it.
Well, that would be amazing. And the AirPods Pro are fantastic. It's a great prize, but the real prize is how much volume they will grow by in their businesses, how many people they will help by sharing with that. So I love the focus that you have on getting your team committed to daily activities, which is obviously helping you as you grow your business. You've seen tremendous success. Now, the last couple minutes, I just want to ask you to do this. I want to ask you to provide any advice for someone looking at reaching the rank that you're at and having the success that you have. What advice would you give?
I would definitely say, put it as a goal. The letters that we wrote at one of the regionals and were sent to us, I think that really made us reflect and think. And I love that people want to be a diamond, but sometimes I think we need to take a step back and not so much focus on specifically being the rank of a diamond, but following the system every day, looking at what you can do every day to be a leader. Because I think if you don't hit a rank, sometimes people get so disappointed and they feel like they're failing, and that's not it at all. if every day you're getting better and your numbers are going up, and even if it does come back a little bit, it's okay. We've all been there. And just let everybody know that anything's achievable. The biggest thing I would say is do not give up, because follow through and do not give up. If we gave up on most of my customers that said no were customers, and then from customers, they're business partners. So it's that continual relationship with people that even if they say no, is still follow up and be their friend, and it can come up in conversation. And so just focus on the positives and it will come. It's not a race. It's not that you make it in 14 months or 6 months. It doesn't matter. It's your journey. And so everyone's here. We've all been through really hard times, but it's possible for anybody. And we just want to enjoy it with everyone.
Yeah. And along that, that where I find that it's simple, you know, if we follow the system. But the way I've kind of lived my life is I'm very competitive. Like I said, I've played football at every level but the professional level, and I was coaching, and so I'm very competitive, and so I want to be up there. And so what I've kind of developed in my life and as a coach and everything else is I copy people that have already done it. I don't want to reinvent the wheel. As I was a coach, I mentored myself after successful coaches and what they did, and then implemented that into my. And so our upline leaders, Miss Priest, the Romeros, the Thornhills, the Johansons, all of our diamonds can tell you we've talked their ear off. You know, we've reached up and what do we need to do? What do you do? And then you got to be coachable. We tell them, you know, just shoot straight with us. We got thick skin, we got gator skin on. Just shoot straight with us and tell us what we need to do to be successful, because you guys have already done it. There's no reason for us to try to reinvent the wheel. And so that's the other thing I would tell people is, you know, look to the people that have already done it and ask for their help, because I've never been in another network marketing company before. This is mine and Melissa's first company. And it's one of the complaints we hear from people that have been in other ones is that once they sign up, they felt like they've been left alone, that there's nobody, they haven't had any help. And I can tell you in the last 15 months, there hasn't been one day that I've ever felt like that. I remember one day I was just walking around the house and my phone went off and I looked down, I had a text message from Mary Millward. Right? So I was all excited. I told Melissa, I'm like, Mary Millward just sent me a text message, asked if there was anything she could do to help and stuff. And so that's, you know, the system is set up, the family is here for people to be successful. Just stay positive. Set your goals. When we wrote that letter, we knew we were getting them in November, and I put on that letter, hello, Curtis, how does it feel to be a diamond? And I wrote that in there, and it happened. And so just stay positive, use the system, use your leaders, use corporate, use Skyleur.
Easy there. I truly appreciate you guys. I appreciate all of the advice that you've given and all of the information that you've shared with us. It means a lot, and it's helped a lot of people. As I wrap up the call here, I'd like you guys to share your thoughts with the Wares, your appreciation with them. I can tell you that I know that Melissa does not like to be on camera. So it took a lot for her to be here. So please, in the chats, in the chat boxes, I'm wrapping this up. Let them know that you appreciate them and thank them for their time. I want to thank them for their time. I want to remind you guys that next Wednesday, we'll have another Wednesday webinar. It will be with Mr. Andrew Mangeris, and it will be a product webinar. And remember, we do 2 product webinars a month. We do 2 business webinars a month. So again, I want to say thank you very much. The chat's lighting up with thank yous as well. You two are phenomenal individuals, and we appreciate you being part of Kyani. And thank you so much for your time tonight. All right, everyone. Thank you for your time as well. And we hope you have an amazing week. We hope you all go for the Pump Up the Volume promotion. Get your AirPods Pro. Have a great night, everyone. We'll talk to you later.